Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. Now, if you're at all interested in the new Ghost Recon Wildlands game that's coming out, then there's some exciting new information today. PvP has officially been announced, as well as details on the new season pass and everything it includes. So let's start with the big one. This is what everybody is wanting to know the most about, is that PvP mode has been announced for Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is 4-on-4, so 2 teams of 4 that are playing against each other. You can see during some of the gameplay there seems to be an objective marker that's labeled like intel. And they say it is class-based, which is really interesting because the game itself is not class-based. However, the game itself is like you can equip any gun, any weapon at any time you want, which would probably be really messy for any kind of PvP play in order for it to be balanced, so they probably did have to introduce a class-based system to handle that. They say that this will be a free update for everyone, whether you have the season pass or not. Now, we are not given a firm timetable on when PvP will be available. It will not be right at launch, though. One thing they say is that you can expect more information on PvP in the coming months. They indicate adversarial mode will be available a few months after launch as a free update for all players. Again, that will be a free update, and it doesn't matter if you have the season pass or not. PvP mode has been something that's always been a staple in Ghost Recon games, but for those that were paying attention, we actually did kind of know this was coming last summer after E3. There was a Game Informer article that talked about how they had been talking with the Ghost Recon dev team, and they said that there was going to be some PvP information coming out, but they weren't ready to go into details yet. That little tidbit from that article was all that we've had for PvP information, but for those of you that have been really disappointed that PvP wasn't being announced to be with the game or had lost faith that it was coming at all, now it is here. So let's go ahead and segue into what some of the season pass information is going to be covering. So first of all, they talk about free updates. These are things that we've been seeing with Rainbow Six Siege, so we're probably going to be mirroring a very similar plan here. And as we talk about the rest of the things that are offered in here, it sounds very similar to the kind of concept that Rainbow Six is offering. In fact, they may be going for a unified type of DLC platform across many of their franchises. And we see that we've got these free updates. So they talk about seasonal events as well as community challenges. Now, as far as the updates go, they talk about how they'll keep evaluating the feedback that the players give them and improving the experiences through the numerous game updates in the months to come. And when they talk about the challenges, things get a little bit more interesting. They say the very first season of challenges will start a few weeks after launch. Each season uses a specific theme, creating a short story that follows. For a month and a half, you'll be tasked each week with different objectives, some of which need to be accomplished in solo, with others being done in a co-op setting. If you manage to complete these different challenges, various rewards will be unlocked for everybody that participates. They don't get into specifics of what the first season of content will be, but they do hint that it will involve Unidad. So they do specifically have seasons of content here. And one thing that they specifically mention, if you check out the official website, is they talk about how this will be supported over the upcoming years of support for this game's content. So it sounds like we're going to have lots of expansions and missions and vehicles and weapons and just all kinds of things added to the game to keep us interested for years to come. With each season having weekly objectives that you have to do, this does add a little bit to the replayability, which is good because I found that there was going to be a problem with that. Once you completed a region, you kind of had nothing left to go on. With weekly goals and objectives to complete, optional side missions, and season-specific story content, with a new season coming every month and a half, then we'll definitely be having a lot to keep us coming back into the game on a regular basis. They also talk about further content that will be available throughout the life of the game, including but not limited to exclusive weapons, more customization options for the character, gear, and vehicles. The optional content can be purchased in the store in exchange for credit packs. They do talk about how most of the new content is purely cosmetic, with new exotic weapons that will always be balanced with the gear that can be found in-game already, so nothing will be too overpowered and unbalanced when you buy it that way. We're also getting 2 free expansions. The first expansion is titled Narco Road, and the premise on this one is that there are 3 cartel gangs that are focused on street racing, and your job is to go undercover, get inside of these gangs, and infiltrate them from the inside out, which would involve participating in some of the gang races that they do. Unfortunately, we are noticing a lot of crazy skins on cars, big hyped up machines, and even a monster truck. And this kind of makes me roll my eyes and just go like, what is happening to Ghost Recon here? Wildlands so far has been billed as a very gritty and realistic game. It really feels like they took their other open world racing game, The Crew, and just sort of mashed it up inside of Wildlands for this expansion. The other thing that's kind of cause for concern is that the driving physics in this game aren't the best. They're not the worst. I've played games that are, definitely worse for driving than this, but things do kind of have a tendency to easily oversteer and just not have the best physics, especially when you go off-road at all. So it's not like the driving handling in this game is really the best in the first place. The vehicles just kind of have this loose steering thing going on. They don't feel like they have like a real heavy weight to them. They feel like they're too light for what they are. And then to build this whole driving mechanic based around it for a new game mode is just, I'm not sure exactly how well that's going to go over. They say that Narco Road will also include more than a dozen new missions across 4 provinces, new vehicles, new weapon skins, and side activities. All of it will be available to play in either solo or co-op. Season Pass owners will be able to access this paid content 1 week early. We don't know exactly what non-Season Pass owners will have to do to get that, whether it will just become available to them or if they will have to purchase that separately. I imagine that you would actually have to invest in that in some way, whether it's purchasing it with some kind of a credit system or with actual cash. The second expansion is called Fallen Ghosts. This one seems like a far more traditional expansion that we might be expecting. The concept behind this one is that your helicopter was shot down and you are then tracked by a group of mercenaries. It sounds like there's some storylines and missions that center around this. We see some new units that are shown in the footage highlights for this. We're not given a whole lot of specifics on everything that Fallen Ghosts includes. However, they do say that there will be new weapons and skills. As with Narco Road, Season Pass owners will be able to access that content a week early as well. Both of these expansions sound like they're very large in size. They're not just simply a couple of add-on missions, but rather like true expansions to the game. They also talk about some extra perks that you get, like 3 custom uniforms that will be included with the Season Pass. There's one for the Rebellion, another one for the Santa Blanca theme, and a third one for Unidad. These are full-body uniforms as well as a custom weapon. Then there's this very strange, weird, exclusive llama hippie van thing, which is something you get as part of the Season Pass. I don't really see myself using something like this ever, but there it is. It's something that you get in the Season Pass. Additionally, you also get a permanent XP boost with the same booster pack appearance as Siege. You kind of have like those cans that look like Monster Energy drinks that have just been reskinned. So you get a permanent XP boost with the Season Pass. It might be something that's exactly like what Siege is, where it's like a 5% renown bonus for when you have the Season Pass. And then you might be able to purchase these booster packs to increase your XP as you play. They haven't mentioned that you can purchase booster packs, but this is the same icon for the booster packs that Siege has. The next screen, then, they just simply say, and more, and they don't really say what this is that you're looking at. However, let's put this in context with the XP booster image that we just saw in the slide before this one, and this looks an awful lot like it could be something like maybe Wildlands credits, similar to Rainbow credits. This would follow in the formula of creating these kind of, like long-term cycles of having lots of content for people to invest in. And just as a reminder for everybody, Ghost Recon Wildlands does launch next Tuesday, March 7th on all platforms. I've spent a lot of time playing both the closed beta and the open beta, and I've had a lot of fun with the game. I know I will be picking it up. Even though some of the silly stuff in the Season Pass isn't anything I really care about all that much, there is a lot of other good stuff here, and I really do look forward to playing the game and finding out what some of this content is. There are also bonus missions that are available if you, had access to the Season Pass, or if you played in the open beta and did some other things, you can get these exclusive like Unidad missions. There is also a Peruvian connection set of missions. These are available as part of Season Pass holders and also, for some other pre-order things. So there are additional like mission-based content that exists outside of just what the Season Pass offers. And it sounds like there's just like a lot of meaty content to support the game. So that is a good thing. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below or share with me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. As always, if you like the content, then please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest news and information for both Rainbow Six Siege or Ghost Recon Wildlands. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.